Hi everyone, to start out this look, I'm taking an Elmer's Glue stick and I'm just putting that over top of her brows, and I'm doing 2 layers of this just to kind of conceal them and make them lighter because Gaga has bleach brows and I'm not going to be bleaching her eyebrows. So I'm just going to do that and then apply a face powder over top of it. I wanted a really full coverage foundation, so I'm using Covergirl's Outlast foundation on a damp beauty blender, and I'm just blending that all over her face, down her neck, and then I'm going to take some of that and stipple it over top of her brows to lighten them even further. And when you press the foundation over the brows, it's important not to swipe it, but to press it over top of it to get as much coverage as you can. Underneath her eyes, to conceal any dark circles, I'm just applying some concealer and then blending that into the foundation. Once it's blended in, you want to set your entire face with a face powder and concentrate a lot of powder on top of the eyebrows. Moving on to the eyes, most of the shadows that I'm using are from the Too Faced Natural Matte palette, and the first shadow that I'm using is called Chocolate Cookie, and I'm just applying that all over her eyelids and then blending it upwards. And I also kind of blended it in towards her nose because Gaga has like a really deep crease over by her nose, and then I'm winging out the edge of it darker, and I'm just kind of extending it out past her eyebrow. On the inner part of her eye, I'm using the color Honey Butter, which is like a lighter nude, and then even further onto her inner corner, I'm using the color Heaven, which is a really light pale nude. On her lower lash line, I'm using the color Chocolate Cookie again, and I'm just blending that right on the outer third of her eye. For the liner portion of her eyeshadow, I'm using the color Risque, which is like a really dark matte brown, and I'm just using that with an angled brush, and I'm winging out the outer portion of the shadow, and the wing kind of just like stops right in the middle of her eye. Well, actually it starts there, and then you just wing it right out and then kind of bring it upwards, and then also bring that down onto the outer portion of the lower lash line. Then you can just blend that in so it's not so harsh. And then I wanted the inner corner to be even lighter, so I added Vanilla from MAC. For the little mark besides her eye, I'm just using a black liner. And then for the bronzing, I'm taking this NYX Contour kit and I'm using a really warm shade from that. And I'm just blending that on her forehead, her temples, and then in the hollows of her cheekbones. For this step, it's really important that you blend a lot and just go in circular motions. I'm using this e.l.f. blush brush. It's kind of angled, but it's really fluffy and it blends really, really well. And then I'm just going to be taking like a regular face powder and going over top of it so that it's blended even further. Then for a deeper contour, I just took a slightly darker shade and I'm just taking it on a fan brush, and I'm just kind of making it more precise so that it's more of a precise contour. And then again, I'm just taking the face powder and then going over it so it's blended. As for the highlighter, I'm using the Balm Maryluminizer. And then moving on to the lips, I'm using this Covergirl lip liner in Passion, and I'm just going to line her lips and then fill them in with that. I'm using like 4 different lip products here. This is Russian Red from MAC, and then over top of that I added Euphoria from Covergirl, which is like a plum. It's kind of like a sheer plum, so you put it over any lipstick and it makes it look more plummy and darker. And then I'm taking this Covergirl Red lip gloss over top of that, and even later I added some black eyeshadow around the edges just so that there's more definition. To make the eyes glossy, I'm just using this Covergirl lip gloss in Melted Toffee, but you could always use Vaseline and it does the same thing. This is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thank you for watching.